Now, of course, we know the unfortunate news. This one started off on a boat in Horn Island. An 18-year-old black kid named Nolan Wells never made it home. Now, the same names keep showing up. Ben Crump, press conferences, missing evidence, and a whole lot of people suddenly invested in justice that somehow never reaches a courtroom. I'm not here to tell you what to think. I'm never here to do that. I'm just lining these clips up so you can see how the same script keeps getting used. First one sets the table, though. 3 dead 18-year-olds in a short window. Same attorney. Same press conference energy.
Okay, I just finished Attorney Ben Crump's press conference about Nolan Wells, Daniel Irvin, and Tyler Smith. First and foremost, we're going to start with Nolan Wells. The family attorney is now working with the district attorney, and there's a tentative agreement on a joint investigation to have a forensic investigation on the phones that were involved around Nolan Wells' unaliving. That will be handled with independent investigators, the FBI, and the DA. And they're still waiting on the coroner's results, because y'all do remember that they never got the neck of Nolan Wells. So it's important to remember that we don't know if he was drowned or not, because Dr. Mitchell could not examine the lungs, his airways, his stomach contents, original body condition, or the toxicology. Let's hope the coroner turns them over. Next up, Daniel Irving, who went out with 2 friends and allegedly drowned even though he was a swimmer, a competitive swimmer. From what we know from Daniel's mother, the police were dismissive. It took them 35 hours to enter Daniel's name in the state missing persons system. She said that she had to do all the legwork to figure out what happened to her son. And the 2 white boys that were with him, they threw away his phone and his clothes. He deleted all the messages between them and Daniel. And guess what they only got charged with? Tampering. Daniel's mother and attorney Ben Crump wants this to go to a grand jury. There's no way in hell they did all of that and this boy just drowned by accidentally jumping in water as a competitive swimmer. And last, we have Tyler Smith, who went to a party and allegedly was playing Russian roulette and the gun popped off on his head. I'm sorry, Russian roulette is not something black kids do. That just sounds stupid. Tyler's grandmother was told that it was accidental and that they should just live with that answer. On top of that, his grandmother said that the police did not check his hand for gun residue. Said it wouldn't make any sense because all the kids were shooting the gun. And the initial firearm that was recovered didn't match the casing that came from Tyler's head. They had to go hunt for that gun. And when they found it, they didn't arrest the boy that had it. They relied on these young boys' testimonies instead of actually doing their damn job. Now, all 3 of these boys were 18 years old. They all died within a 3-month span of each other. Attorney Ben Crump has asked us to keep talking. Their parents and their families say keep talking. And that's exactly what we're going to do. My prayers are with every last one of these young black men's families.
Now, she said Ben Crump monopolized Black Death. Well, I'm sorry, she didn't, excuse me. The post on this from Woods, it says, it's sad that people put so much faith in Ben Crump when we all know how these cases will end. Ben Crump has monopolized Black Death. So he said that, excuse me. And that's definitely a heavy charge. Not surprising, but if you look at the pattern, that was laid out, he laid out 3 separate cases, 3 families standing behind the same podium. When the cameras are on, the language is always, we demand answers. When the cameras are, off and they leave, the answers somehow stay missing. Now, you think after years of this model, someone will ask why the results stay the same. This next clip doesn't soften it. It just names the race of the people who walked away.
Listen to this.
You brought Benjamin Crump to stir up a community that's already tight-knit. Yeah, we might not be best friends with everybody, but I promise, if you're talking about Ocean Springs as a whole, Ocean Springs is going to have Ocean Springs back. 110%.
Now, I'm going to tell you who I allegedly think the super team is of this cover-up. You got Jerry, the grandpa who called and canceled the sea tow. I don't know when he received the call from the kids on the boat, but as they're on the phone with the lady to get the tow, he directly calls the captain personally and cancels the tow. Not suspicious, right? And you got Judge Ashley Cole. She automatically just inserted herself into the situation. And then her Facebook statement that she made, side-eye. And the tip line was direct to her office. Not suspicious. Then you got old Stacy Turner. And we know her background. She's really quick to rule out foul play and black deaths. And another thing that's interesting about her, she got chief of medical examiner in 2 years. 2 years on the job. Not suspicious. Then you got old Sheriff John Ledbetter. Now, the Ledbetter family has roots in Mississippi. His grandfather was a sheriff for the longest of time, so they go all the way back to the 70s. And didn't he come out immediately and say they don't expect no foul play and there was a drowning? Not suspicious. Then you got Bart's dad. He's a certified anesthesiologist and toxicologist. So when those autopsy reports come back and then the toxicology reports come back, guess whose desk they gotta go by? Not suspicious. So you got a judge, a medical examiner, a lead sheriff, and a certified toxicologist. And like Trayson said in the video, they're tight-knit and they gonna make sure they look out for each other. Those are his words. I showed y'all. Now the sad thing is, they may get away with this one too, which sucks. Or hopefully it's the end of the road for them. Now this is all allegedly. This is all allegedly, y'all.
So 5 black teens, the other side of the story gets described in one color. That's the part that sticks, right? Not because race is the only factor, but because the people yelling the loudest about race go quiet when the facts refuse to cooperate with the narrative that, they were already sold. So selective volume is a form of control. Now the conversation shifts from justice to money.
Hey, you guys, grace and peace. Bring it on in. I've got to give you guys an update to the Nolan Wells murder mystery situation down there in Ocean Springs, Mississippi. I plan to cover today the bombshell news that has come out that the parents of Nolan Wells are issuing subpoenas to the individuals who are saying that we were Nolan's friends. We don't know what happened to Nolan, but yet the parents not interested in waiting for the investigation to ensue, prematurely releasing their independent autopsy before the state's autopsy has been released. And we're just seeing some funny business coming from these parents when many of us on this side of this discussion were willing to give them the benefit of the doubt and wait for the facts and evidence to come out. Wish we could say the same for that side of this discussion. So over in my video today, I'm going to cover it. I'm going to analyze this subpoena. I'm going to provide you guys with some insight as to what I really believe this is about. This is a tragedy maritime situation, in my opinion, although we are waiting for more information to come out. It's been said that, yes, alcohol was involved, and allegedly there may have been some other illegal substances involved. But at the end of the day, there is a cloud and a shroud of mystery surrounding this case, particularly with the family retaining a known race hustler by the name of Ben Crump. I don't believe he's adding any value to this case. And in fact, he is hurting and damaging the credibility of this family. But I need you to go on over to the channel, Unshakable with April Chapman. Over there, I break all of this down. We're going to get into the Brandon Tatum interview. We're going to get into the subpoena of now these young adults being sued. And I'm going to give you my opinion as to why I believe they are being sued. I think you'll find my insight quite surprising. So I'll see you guys over in the video.
Definitely go follow April. Now, she asked the only question that actually matters once the lawyers get involved. Are they following evidence or following umbrella policies? Civil letters going out before anyone is charged. Preserve evidence notices while the investigation is still open. That's not how truth-seeking works. That's how payouts get prepared. And somehow, the same crowd that screams about systems of oppression never seems bothered when the system starts writing checks instead of, filing charges. Now, this next one starts poking holes in the boat story itself.
Hey, so nobody ever got on the Triton that was under the age of 18 drinking and doing drugs. I'm letting you know right now, the Triton is the boat everybody wanted to be on because the boys' boat that rhymes with the name Smart is where everything went down. In this video alone, we see them all board you-know-whose boat. They never get on the Triton because the Triton is a $50,000 boat that the parents took. The kids were on the motherfucking kiddie boat. Remember how they all boarded up and left? On the little baby kiddie boat, the Triton didn't move when they were on it. No one ever has a video or picture of them boarding the Triton. That's why they keep saying Nolan was never on the Triton, because they never used the Triton for the 18-year-old antics. They were all on the other boat. Oh, and in these videos where we see everything going down, from the argument, the boys playing and jumping the fuck around, there are at least 4 boats that are in every motherfucking scene, and there are 2 adults on every fucking boat, i.e. this one, the Sea Hunt. They are seen on this boat that says Garmin at the top. They are seen partying on the mysterious dead Katie's boat, whatever. They are also seen on this boat called the Palm Beach. This video came from a user on Facebook that recorded everything, and I'm telling you, this area that they were all in, all of these boats, as you can see, the Sea Hut, the Palm Beach, and the big Garmin boat they were on, were all secluded and tied off with something like fishing wire because this was their specific area for the day. This also included this boat, which was a blue boat that just so happens to have someone called Dr. Detail on it. I'll get to that later. I am telling you, the kids were not allowed on the grown folks boat, and there are so many different videos with grown folks in them. These are not your normal grown folks, and they strategically, all of them, have no posts from the 4th. And we know now, because of Officer Tatum, someone was actively going around that was an adult selling blow. The fact that you guys don't understand the cover-up is coming from the adults that were present, and all of these adults are related and interconnected. I mean, fuck. Tristan knows exactly who's in the Dr. Detail shirt. A lot of people that were there that day are family within the community. And what happened on the boat did not take place on the motherfucking Triton. That's why everyone is now saying, oh my God, I was on the Triton. Nolan was never on the Triton. You're right, because Nolan was on you know whose boat when it happened to him, when his leg was hanging over the side.
So the Triton never took on water. The call was about a different boat. The detail alone should have forced the pause, right? Instead, it got treated like background noise, right? When the physical facts stop matching the story being told, most people still, choose the story, unfortunately. You know how that goes. It's not investigation. That's protecting of a preferred ending. Here comes the part that made this timeline move faster.
You might not like the truth, but I'll never tell a lie. Shit's about to go down.
We are announcing that we have the audio from the officials, and we have retained and are consulting with some of the foremost audio engineering experts to review those audio tapes from the CETO call in its entirety.
Now, I'm going to play the audio in question because I wasn't interested in this story until I heard the audio last Friday when it was released. And you can go on the CETO website right now, any one of you, and you can listen to it for yourself. Immediately, people wanted to say that it was AI, that it's been debunked, but now we're going to find out for sure. It also baffles my mind that some of you are out here believing TMZ, the same people who celebrated Charlie Kirk's murder, and taking their word to heart. See, they conveniently left out the first 15 seconds of that audio, and that audio is very telling. Let's have a listen.
Hey, we're at the west tip of Horn, and our village pump stopped working. We're sinking. Can you all please come? We have a membership. Shut up! Shut the fuck up!
We're gonna know if that audio is real or not, and I think it's very real. It also baffles my mind that they had no service, yet in that call, later on, the dispatcher speaks to the nearest captain to help them, and guess what? The captain says, I already spoke to the grandfather. They're fine. So who called the grandfather? I thought nobody had cell phone service. See, this is where shit gets real fucking tricky, especially with that audio. And who was the woman that said, I am speaking? Was that maybe the stepmom, the judge, who made sure in that letter to say that she wasn't there that day? We're about to get some answers. If you want to ask me what I think happened, I think that the fight where someone's asking for their phone was Nolan. And a fight broke out and they either hit him in the back of the head, right here, or somebody choked him out. What the fight was about, no idea. But remember, his social media accounts yesterday were subpoenaed. So we're gonna find out a lot more very soon. Some of you wanna make this about culture wars and color. I look at this as crime. I'm not white, I'm not black, I just want the truth, and the truth is about to come out. But now I want to hear from you guys. What did you think of the audio you just heard and can hear right now on the CETO website? Let me know in the comments below. And as always, love you guys. Peace.
Okay, so audio experts retain claims of background voices saying you killed him and he's already dead. Whether those phrases hold up under real forensic review and is one question. The fact that they were released this way is another. Once the public hears something that explosive, the pressure changes. Suddenly, the case has new urgency that somehow wasn't there when the body was first found. Timing is never neutral. Last clip asked the question the other skipped.
Nolan Wells audio distress call. Is it real?
The audio obviously is real. It's been released, and the agency that released it has said that it's a video or audio of the incident, but every version that we've seen has been stepped on multiple times.
You know, there could be snippets that are missing in those specific moments that are redacted, for example, that may hold more clues that we're not hearing. We don't know exactly what's said in those moments that we don't have full access to.
To you, Officer Tatum, you believe that there is an innocent explanation. My mind is open. And that innocent explanation would be what?
I mean, the bilge pump is damaged. They could have been saying, don't die, or is it dead, referring to the bilge pump or the bilge pump. And they could have been talking about a battery. They could have been saying no, and people think they said Nolan.
Play the audio for the witnesses that were on the boat. Play it for them separately, individually, and ask them to corroborate what they're saying.
Dave Mack, Crime Stories investigative reporter, was the version that we are playing tonight altered in any way by the Crime Stories staff?
When you ask, did we edit or alter? No, we merely enhanced it using basic tools that are used in every production department around the world.
Dave Mack, I believe the correct answer would be HELLNO.
Nancy Grace brought in Brandon Tatum and digital experts to ask the plain thing. Is the distress call even authentic as presented? That should have been the first question, not the last. Now, when the same voices demand that we believe all victims suddenly treat an enhanced audio clip as gospel, you start to see the standard only travels in one direction. Now, I'm here for the truth. That's it. What you're watching isn't one case. If you ask me, I think it's a method. A young black man dies under unclear circumstances. A high-profile attorney arrives. Press conferences multiply. Civil letters go out. Audio gets enhanced. And the public is told the only moral position is the one already chosen for them. That's the part that rarely gets said, you know? I think actually the part that really gets said is simpler than all the noise, right? If the evidence is strong, it doesn't need this much theater. If the evidence is weak, the theater becomes the evidence. Now, we've watched this movie enough times to recognize the lighting. The family deserves real answers, not a media cycle that peaks right before the next fundraising email. It doesn't need a preferred political outcome to be true. It just needs to be followed wherever it actually goes. So, still unsettled by all this. So if you made it to the end of this video, that's the exact word I want you to put. Unsettled in the comment section. Also, justice is turned back and righteousness stands far away. For truth has stumbled in the public squares and uprightness cannot enter. This is Isaiah 59:14. You guys be safe. Go check on somebody today. You can quite literally be saving their life. Peace.